Welcome back to the channel. Today what we're going to be talking about is we have lost yet another fitness YouTuber, athlete, on the same level as bodybuilders. And this right here is and was a shock to me, simply because the guy was only 30 years old, and it is Joe Aesthetics, better known as Joe Lindner. Now, Joe Lindner have a Instagram of about 9 million people, I believe. So the guy is incredibly known on Instagram, and he's also known on YouTube because he's have a great following there too. Now, the sad thing about fitness YouTubers are the fact that they have to be on all the time. And that right there is quite different from bodybuilders, because bodybuilders, once they have completed their show, it's expected for them to, go back to normal eating and trying to bulk up and gain extra size. Whereas fitness YouTubers are always about that vascularity, that ripness. That's fitness YouTuber. If you don't have that certain amount of size to you, and you don't have that ripness, then most people out there are not going to pay you any attention. So that's the downfall for fitness YouTubers, and I put the Instagrammers in the same category as YouTubers. You always got to be on, and that right there itself is a pressure within itself. But this guy right here is always ripped year round, and he's been like that forever. And the thing about that is it have a lot of stress that itself put on your body. And with Joe Aesthetics, he's always starving himself. He's always starving himself, trying to keep this ripped look all the time. And at the same time, what he's doing to combat the hunger is he's using excessive amounts of coffee. We're talking about 4 liters of coffee a day is what's said. But that's a crazy amount of coffee. You can just imagine the heart palpitations that this guy have to be drinking that much coffee all the time, just to combat the hunger that he's feeling in order for him to stay like that. But again, that fitness YouTubers, that's what's required for them to look like that all the time in order for them to keep their following. That's just the way I feel about it. You always have to appease people if that's your goal, and that right there normally leads to what has happened to Joe Lindner. He passed away at 30, and it's like I've always told you, as long as you're trying to please people instead of yourself, you're gonna always drive yourself off of the cliff. And it's gonna happen, because people are never gonna be satisfied with one thing or another. They're always gonna encourage you to push yourself more and more and more and more, or society itself is gonna require more and more from you until you push yourself off the cliff, and then they'll move on to the next person. That's just the way life is. That's just the way it works. It happens. Now, going by what his girlfriend said, he had an aneurysm, but with the excessive caffeine, also with his PED use and his PED use of the past abuse, it's like I told you before. Nobody escapes that. Nobody escapes that. Your past. Your past at some point, and it depends on how bad it was, it's gonna catch up with you. And when it catch up with you, you'll have things like this that could happen. Nobody knows for sure whether or not it was a hereditary type of thing or whether or not it was the PEDs. Nobody really knows. But this right here have been the norm as of late when it comes down to fitness people, bodybuilders. They're dying like flies. They're just falling over. And all of that for this ripped physique, all of that for notoriety. 30 years on this earth and gone. Was it worth it? Was any of the punishing yourself worth it? You have to always ask yourself that. But you're going to have a lot of people that's going to do it no matter what. So, anyway, that's what I want to talk to y'all about. If you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. And again, I'll be talking to you later.